Okay, so now you're starting off against a Viper. Now you've got a Wraith Band and Tangos, which is okay. I think maybe would have asked for a little bit more, a few more Tangos, a couple of more Tangos from my allies, and I definitely would have queued up a bottle right about now. As soon as I
I
get
went.
this,
I
sorry.
went for salve. I went for salve.
Yeah, salve. Sorry, salve. Yeah, I meant salve. That's what I meant with bottle. But yeah, so if you're gonna get a salve, that's fine. That's what you should have had because you're definitely gonna take a lot of harass, and you definitely need the 400 extra HP because all you really need to do is survive the first 3 minutes against Viper, and then you can essentially uh, you can focus so much on what it wasn't against a Viper.
Oh, okay. I'm a liar. That's not the
No
one, I
worries.
guess.
No
That's
worries.
not the
And
one.
another thing, this is another thing that I liked a lot that you held on to your points. Because if it was a Viper, then you probably want to start off with raises at level 1, because you're not going to get any last hits anyway. But with raises, at least you can guarantee some CS and some levels and some farm, and you can get to level 2. Okay, so that's something that I really like that you held off on your point. And right off the bat, Invoker messed up super hard. He aggroed poorly. He didn't keep the creeps over there and allowed you to get those 2 souls. And in fact, if you hadn't messed up a little bit on the last hitting, you would have had a lot more souls as well. You were already starting to rack up the charges. So it's on 4 charges. It's already it could have been 5 right away right there. So a little bit struggling a little bit on last hitting. Your positioning is quite poor. Yours like I understand you want to be as close to the creep as possible, but right here, Invoker, if this was a good Invoker, he could have been last hitting you, right clicking you for free, and he does one run. Okay, what the hell? He does one right click and then just goes away for for what? He does another one and then he just goes away. I think he thinks he's gonna take way too much damage from the creeps. He doesn't understand that he's gonna do way more damage. He's gonna do twice as much damage to you than he will take from this one creep. So his understanding of the lane is really poor. Otherwise, you would have been at less than half HP right now for sure. You would have been struggling a little bit.
Okay.
So, but yeah, SF is really good in that sense that you can kind of abuse um, other people in your MMR who aren't so good because like it should be easy games for you, and I that's what you've been telling me that like look at this is so ridiculous. The guy hasn't done anything to you. You've had two tangos, and some of that damage actually came from just because you were tanking up creeps because you didn't want to end up having them under your tower. So like it's like a free lane for you. So you can't
Yeah.
even say, "Oh, I'm dominating my lane." No, you. It's nobody's in your lane, dude. This guy is not even in your lane. In fact,
Okay.
because of the situation that you're in, you should be right clicking this guy. See, when you come into a situation where you realize that this guy is really bad, you should take advantage of that. You could have maybe harassed him out of the lane. Like that was a complete waste of a race. Even though you have arcane rune, I feel like that was a complete waste of a raise because you've got level 2 raise at 175 damage. You could have made sure that raise lands up on Invoker as well. In fact, you've got 10 Necromancy charges. There was no way anybody was going for that last over here. Um, let's go back a little bit. Say, right now, if you throw out a long raise, now you throw out a long raise, you clip Invoker, and you get those 2 creeps. But instead, you waited till the creeps got here, and like you could have just right clicked that creep. He's not going to go for the deny. He's not going for any denies. And on top of that, you've got enough damage right now to not worry about Invoker trying to deny anything. Like you're missing some last hits as well, but so yeah, you right about this time you should be trying to get as many raises as possible on Invoker. You've got a shrine available, you've got a bottle coming up soon. So what you should be doing is like, okay, and you've got a full salve. So you should be thinking about, okay, I've got a full salve. I should click on Invoker, see what he has. He's only got a tango, so I can actually take 400 more damage than him and still come out on top because he doesn't have a salve. Didn't shouldn't have thrown it. So let's go back a little bit. You really don't need to raise right now. You're kind of just wasting your mana raising. You can just right click this guy to death. And the last raise was to get the kill steal, which is important. So I'll say, okay, that last raise is okay, but you kind of didn't need to use the first raise. It's
Okay.
a little bit of a waste of mana. Alright. Gonna move ahead now. You've got maximum souls. Now you just killed Invoker in the lane. You've got almost full HP. You've got your bottle. You've got full mana as well. So this is, and you've got full souls. You've got nearly double damage. So this is the time where you should be like, okay, I am super strong in the lane. All right. Invoker, it's an Exort Invoker. He has nothing right now. He has absolutely nothing. So you should be able to, you should be like looking to go and kill. Like you just raised, you've got 2 creeps here. He's got 1. You should just go and right click that guy. You should just go and harass him and try to zone him out of the lane. You know.
I guess I was afraid of going aggressive, being downhill.
There was no need to be afraid of anything. There was an issue here that you missed last hit there. You could have done that exact same thing without missing that last hit. But I'm not gonna say anything. Like you should have taken that last hit, and then taken that last hit, and then attempted this kill. I think you still would have gotten that kill, but it's fine. You still got the kill. You missed 2 CS for that kill. You got 300 gold for it. So you got 300 gold. You missed 100 gold. You could have had 400 gold. Not a big deal. It's fine. Moving on. I need to get your boots immediately because one thing that you do have to worry about is Invoker getting cold snap and then draining your mana. He can't kill you. Oh, actually, never mind. What am I talking about? It's a Exort Invoker, so there's nothing he can do. There's literally nothing he can do. But you still need to get your boots so that as soon as you turn level 7, you will have, max Shadow Race. You can just double nuke the wave and just go and farm jungle. And you can't do that very quickly or efficiently without having boots. Now, mistake you made here is that you actually went for Aquila. Aquila gives you 0.65 mana regen for 500 gold. You should have gone for Raindrops because Raindrops actually gives you 0.85 mana regen for half that price. Less than half that price, 220 gold. And on top of that, it also gives you that spell barrier for 120 HP. I should have had the TP here as well. Like, honestly, just TP out immediately.
It's on courier. Oh, it was. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, you haven't bought a TP yet. So, you didn't need Aquila just now. Actually, I don't think you need Aquila in your bracket at all. I don't think it's... Alright, Aquila is fine. But you definitely need to have a TP and Raindrops. You need to have those 2 things.
Okay.
So, and then you have 1 more item slot, and that's the item that you're building. So you could have had a magic wand, but I think in this game magic wand isn't going to be very useful. So just Raindrops and TP, and then you're good to go for whatever the next item. You don't even need to upgrade treads. Honestly, I don't know what you're going for in this game. Oh, like once again, that raise is completely useless. If you want to raise, then double raise the wave and go and farm jungle. Right now, you're just using raise to ensure last hits. That should not be happening.
That's what I was going for. I was actually trying to get those.
Yeah, but you can only use double.
But then I realized Axe was. I figured, I thought I was doing some research, and I know people I know how you're supposed to push the wave when you're about to reach rune time. So I figured I can push the wave too when I'm about to hit the creep spawn time. So that's what I was going for. But then the axe was in the camp, so I wasn't able to do it. But that's what I was going for, pushing the wave with races, so I can go and stack. But
yeah, what I'm saying is that you were slow with the raises. Like, what are you waiting for right now? You throw out a raise and you kill both of these creeps. But you're waiting for you right now you shouldn't be in lane. You're wasting a lot of gold because if you use 180 mana, you double raise the wave immediately. So that'll take 2 seconds. Literally, you come here, you double raise like right here. You double raise and then you just go to the jungle. Of course, Axe is taking the bot to camps, but the 2 camps over here, these 2 camps are available. You can definitely go and take those 2 camps. You're staying here, you're spending time. You missed that creep as well. These are all the things that should not be happening. You were you had full bottle. You had a full bottle. And you had a haste, dude. This is so inefficient. Honestly, this is you should not be doing this. You could have double raised this, used your haste rune, immediately gone for these 2. Could have even used raises. You've got a full you got 2 clarities, you got full battle bottle. You double raise these, you still have the haste effect. You get here, you've used bottle, you've used clarities, you're almost full HP, and you grab the DD, and then you come back to this lane. 18 minutes, 18 seconds is when the creep wave meet. You double raise this again, and then immediately you have double damage, so you can go and take the ancients after that. So like you could have had all of that. It could have been um, almost 600 gold more. Almost 600 more gold you could have had if you'd done all of that. Probably not more. Probably more like 400 more gold, because you are taking these creeps though. So that's almost 150 each at 300 gold. So see that now you're just standing around waiting for this hook to happen, which I mean, in 3K, I would not be doing that. I would not be wasting my farming opportunity time just to get an insignificant kill on Invoker here. No. Small chance for it didn't happen. He didn't get the hook. You wasted that time. That whole time, you could have, when you double raised, you could have gone over here and you could have farmed these camps. Like right here, I really hope you go over here and take the camps. But see, what are you doing? You're just wasting time. Indecisiveness. In fact, right about now, you could have even right-clicked this tower with DD, put it on Agi Treads, put it on, turn your DD on, and go and take that tower. You could have done massive amounts of damage to that tower for free. Nobody's going to come contest you. Alright, now you seem to be going for a Dragonlance first. Now, the big problem with Dragonlance is it doesn't allow you to abuse your power spike. Right? When you get your powers, when you farm so fast, you're not farming very fast, but when you farm so fast, you can get super good pick-off items. Things like Yules, things like Blink Dagger. I really like your tread switching. Things like Shadow Blade. You can get all of these items at like 12 minutes, 14 minutes, 13 minutes. And then you can go and get a couple of kills, put those, get a kill on important people, put those people behind in net worth. See, now you're pushing the tower, now you're taking the tower when Invoker's there. Before you had a full creep wave, Invoker was farming in the jungle, you could have done all of this damage to the tower, you could have probably taken the tower at that time. But anyway, my point is that a power spike item-wise, that you definitely, I think Dragonlance is definitely a good item, but I think that's more for higher levels when you're going to push together with a team and it gives you a little bit more, it gives you, shouldn't have been afraid there. This is a mistake you made, right? The mistake you made was you were going for the tower and then you suddenly one right click left and you stopped. You should have taken that tower. If you take that tower, just notice how much damage you took from the tower. Alright? Okay, so you even saw the LC coming from this side, so you shouldn't have even went for the tower. But, let's see. One more right click. You do one more right click to this tower, and the tower is gone. And then it does 2 hits. The tower gets 2 hits on you. That's 220 damage, dude. That's a lot of damage the tower did to you. Not to mention this Invoker is beating you down. So if you'd right click the tower at that time, you literally could have stood your ground, triple raised this Invoker, and he's dead. Invoker is dead, and then this guy comes in. He's dead, because without Invoker doing the damage to you, and without you having taken that 220 damage from the tower, 100% you'd kill the LC. You literally get the free 10 dual damage as well. Oh, actually, did you get at... Wait, what? What is happening? How do you have 18 damage?
What do you mean 18?
It must be a bug. Let's see.
Oh, no, it's not. I think I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's Necromastery. Yeah, sorry. This guy does have the damage. Sure? So, yeah, you would have had 10 extra damage as well if you'd done all of that. So you panicked. That's the main thing that happened. That's the thing. That's the mistake that happened. You panicked.
I think it's bad decision making. I didn't panic, honestly. It's bad decision making.
I mean, it's... Okay, first bad decision is... There is an Invoker defending the tower here. What he should have done is he should have cold snapped you and thrown out a meatball. If he throws that out, you're dead anyway. So the way he played What level is his? Maybe how much damage is meatball level 4? 110 damage, 2 damage per second. Yeah, we're about 300-ish damage, and then cold snap and right clicking. Yeah, I think you probably would have died actually, if he uses cold snap meteor and maybe one more spell, which he would have had because it's 3 second more and invoker's coming off of cooldown. Actually, he could have had alacrity on, cold snaps you, and then throws out a meatball, and you're dead. So yeah, this was a mistake to go for this tower anyway when somebody's here to defend, and you don't have the items at the moment. All you have right now is treads. If you have Dragonlance, then you're not even in range of the tower. So like you took one extra hit, you actually took 3 hits from the tower, not 2 hits. So you wouldn't have taken those 3 hits. So even everything else the same, if you'd had Dragonlance, you still wouldn't have died if you've done everything else the same. But it was the fact that you miscalculated, and that's why I was saying panic, because you get cold snap and you turn. That is, I would say, that's panic. That's panic decision making. That's like, oh god, the invoker's hitting me. So maybe
I'm not that kind of player. I'm not that. Oh god, this is 7. I'm just like, okay, he's doing this. I'm going back because I know I felt a risk. Yeah, it was kind of a fear. My decision making was affected by fear, and not the player.
okay. So it's I think you are sort of misunderstanding my panic, or maybe I don't really fully understand the word panic.
last time, for example, in our last session, which was like 2,000 years ago,
Yeah.
I did made a panic play.
Okay.
Like my racks were dying, and the enemy had one rack left, so I just went for it blindly. Okay, that to me is a panic play, because you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose. What am I gonna do? This is left. I'm going for it. Fuck it. To me, that's a panic play. And
Okay. I would say that's a stress play. I would say that is also panic, but that's like panic under stress. This is panic as in you're surprised panic. You're like, oh,
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize this invoker would actually go on me, because all game long he's done nothing at all. He's been absent, and suddenly he throws a spell, and you're like, oh, what the hell just happened? There's this guy's alive. So I feel like you didn't expect him, but yeah, I mean, the main thing is you've been inefficient with your spell usage and with your time, which both of which are spell usage is mostly mana, so you've been inefficient with your mana and your time. Both are resources. You've got some issues with resource management, and I feel like that is one thing that you really really need to um, figure out and pump up, because pretty much any mid hero, I believe, with the maybe exception of OD, cares a lot about mana management and time management. Very nice, Hutch. Very nice. Where's your ult, dude? Should have ultied.
Me?
Yeah, should have ultied.
4.
Sorry?
LC was dying anyway. Why would I do that? I mean, LC was dying anyway.
Because there's a small chance that a couple of lucky, what's it called, strikes, moment of courage, yeah, moment of courage strikes, and she could have actually killed your ally. Also, if Pudge doesn't, I think right here you should have ultied right here. If you ulti, then guaranteed LC doesn't kill. Like OD came very close to dying. I think that's two more right clicks. If Pudge doesn't hook him, he's dead. So the main thing is, the reason why I was saying ult is because your ult actually reduces the enemy's damage by 50%. It's not the damage that you want to do with your ult in that particular situation. It's the damage reduction that you want to do, essentially. This idiot. Nice. Kind of a wasted ult on the OD's part. Okay, so once again, you're like moving left and right. All you need to do is walk over here, double raise this, and then you can go and farm your jungle. But you're way too afraid. The thing is, like, when you appear on the map like a blip, also LC just died. That's pretty much the only person you've got a TP. LC is the only person you need to worry about. If the only other person is Viper shows himself. First of all, you've got more movement speed than Viper does, so there's no way he shows himself like unless he has an invis rune. Or so if he has an invis rune, you can just TP out. So pretty much you don't need to worry about anything. You appear for half a second, you double raise the wave, you probably don't even come into vision. You can do it from you do the long raise and appear for half a second for your medium raise, and that's it. Well, Axe should have just called immediately. I think he would have gotten him as well. Yeah, I like that. I like that very much. Just go to safety. His Pudge is gonna get ulti. Is he? What's happening? How is that guy in this for so long?
We
Oh,
saw him.
he's...
I guess the Shadowblade fade or something. Yeah.
there's an invis rune right here. All right, very nice. You got in range for the XP as well, which is decent. Wait, did you? Yeah, you did. That's decent. That's a lot of XP actually. You got Wait, what? You didn't get XP? I swear to God, you got XP for that. Look, you're at how did you figure out? You were at 22 XP and you got, I don't know how much that is, but you definitely, and then fight recap says you didn't get XP.
1/4 of a level.
Yeah, 1/4 of a level, that's a lot. So you need 900, so a quarter of 900 is what, about 225, so you got about 220, 220-ish XP, which is decent. It's quite decent, I'd say. Anyway, so far, if you notice, Dragonlance hasn't really done anything for you. You know, what are you even...
I have an explanation.
Okay, okay.
My team fight is really weak. I think it's one of the weakest things I got as a player. So whenever
Okay.
I play Shadow Fiend, I think I get punished too hard for my positioning. So to compensate that, I usually go for tanky builds when I feel like I'm gonna get targeted a lot, and they have a Viper who kind of messes up with my hero, and Legion Commander and the Invoker in general. So I just was going for tanky weaknesses.
Okay. Right. First of all, if you find that your positioning is weak in team fights, then you don't need tanky items. You need mobility items. You need to build instead of Dragonlance. No, instead of what is it called? Yeah, instead of Dragonlance, you should have had a Force Staff, which you build into Hurricane Pike, or even a Blink Dagger. Straight up Blink Dagger is completely fine. Or a Yules into Blink Dagger, which is a great combination with this guy. You get Yules, you get Blink Dagger, you get Ags, you get Refresher, BKB or BKB refresher or refresher BKB, one or the other, depending on the game. But both afterwards. So you can go that route. But Blink Yules will allow you to position yourself in the most appropriate area. Like, let's see what you do here. Yeah, I think you did the right thing by going for the LC. That was the correct play. Could have, if you had a Yules here, this guy dies. You see? Obviously, it's just one thing, but the point is that SF has a lot of damage, right? There are 5 pillars of Dota: damage, durability, disable, movement or mobility, and mana. SF has got a lot of damage. You don't need to build damage on SF pretty much until very late, until you've stabilized all the other things. Mobility wise, SF lacks mobility, obviously. So mobility is really crucial on SF. That's why SNY is a really great item on SF. This disable SF has no disable. That's why Yules is a pretty decent item on SF. Then durability, yes, something that SF lacks, but that's also something that you need to fix your mobility first. In my opinion, you need to fix your mana first, durability second, and third, you can decide. Sorry, did I say durability? No, to say what did I say? Movement. Sorry. You need to fix your mana first, then mobility. Right. So you're fixing your mana more or less with Aquila and Bottle, and you can have raindrops. Not necessary to have raindrops, but you can if you can't get too many bottle charges. If the enemy is controlling the runes really well, then you kind of have to fix your mana problems with raindrops. And then for your mobility, you can have treads, you can have phase, you can rush blink, you can get force, you can decide to go for S and Y really early on. You can have brown boots into Shadow Blade, into S and Y, or into travel boots. Now, in this particular game, I think a Shadow Blade into, like, instead of Dragonlance, just treads, Aquila, bottle, maybe another Wraith Band, and then a TP, and then a Raindrops, and then you just rush Silver Edge straight away. Because look at the enemy lineup. Silver Edge completely destroys LC, destroys Viper, destroys Timber. There are 3 heroes in the enemy lineup which get destroyed by that one item. I feel like Silver Edge was too valuable an item in this game to pass up. Like, this idiot went for a Hand of Midas. He's gonna have his Silver Edge way too late if he even goes for that first. He might just get a Shadow Blade and then go for a Echo Saber, which is quite normal.
That game was kind of rough. As I said, Yodi said he was clearly better than everyone else, and for no D last pick, and when we clearly needed a support, and he took the lane Lark. He sent Lark to the off lane. He was better than everyone, and he was flaming all of us during the whole game. Because again, he was better than everyone. That game was harder than it looks.
The thing is, like, when that kind of a situation happens, you kind of have to mute those people.
I'm not saying it affected me. I'm just saying, like, so you get what's going on kind of.
Yeah, the thing is, the SF is completely independent. SF doesn't really care what the rest of his team is doing or what they want to do or whatever. Anything to do with your team, you really don't give a shit. But when you itemize the way you're itemizing right now, because what you're itemizing right now for is being a frontline. Now, for whom? For your team. Your team sucks, dude. What are you gonna do? You just lost the game because you itemized for your team and your team is shit. So you went about this itemization-wise the wrong way. If you'd gone for a farm-heavy pick-off build, like look at what you're doing right now as well. Like, you're wasting time. You're trying to push out the lane or something. I don't know what you're doing here in the lane, because there's less farm at this point with your build. Not just with your build, with your SF gets more farm from the jungle than he does from the lane. And even if you want to go to the lane, you should not spend more than 2 seconds in the lane. You just double raise and move away. And I have never seen you double raise the lane because you always miss the range creep somehow. You need to stand a little bit more forward, get the range creep, because the range creep will actually die from just one raise. So you need to make sure that your long range catches the range creep as well as the rest of the creep, so you just double raise everything. But yeah, you're gonna get you've had Dragonlance and you say that you need tankiness, but you haven't been in any single team fight. Even if you have the same build, but you're taking part in team fights everywhere, I would be like, okay, at least you have an idea and you're executing that idea. It might not be the best idea. It might be the best idea, or it might not be. But at least you're doing what you think you're doing. But right now, you're not doing what you itemized for. If instead of all of these items, if you'd had like 2 void stones, literally, if you had 2 void stones instead of these items, you would have been much better off. You would have had more GPM, more farm, because you've not been in any single team fight. All you're doing is farming with the raises and stuff, and you've got enough damage to just last hit and right click and kill creeps and all of that anyway. So literally, these 2 items, all of this gold is being completely useless. Like, a fight just happened here. You didn't even bother looking at what was happening there. You're just split pushing. So if you're gonna split push, why not have a blink dagger? Why not have a shadow blade? Why not have travel boots? Items which help you split push, because you're clearly split pushing right now. You should be defending here. You itemize to be a frontliner, and you're not frontlining for your team. Your team is, fighting without you. They're defending high ground without you. Where's your ult? Start the fight with an ult.
There's a stun. I don't have blink dagger.
Sorry?
There's a ogre magi stun and dagger to jump.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You don't need to get the maximum damage from your ult. You just need to ult. When you get a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger, that's when you can really maximize your damage from ult. But you're frontlining right now. Your job is to use your ult to decrease the entire enemy team's damage, and then stand in the front, soak up the damage, put your treads on strength, move around, kite the enemy team, throw out your razors randomly, right click somebody who's really low, and just frontline for your team and allow the OD and Slark, if they're there, to get the bulk of the damage out on the enemy team. And if the enemy team are damaging you, then it'll be a complete waste of their time because you're super tank. So yeah, purpose of the role. I think that was my second video in my mid lane guide.
Yeah,
You,
I just saw it yesterday.
yeah, so that is something that you need to get a solid handle on. Like, what are you supposed to do in your lane, and what are you supposed to do afterwards? Like, if we look at this lineup, that your team's lineup, why is this so loud? I don't understand. Six. If we look at your lineup right now, you've got one almost guaranteed disable from Axe. You've got a useless Pudge. Never ever rely on Pudges in low level MMRs. You've got a really nice pick-off guy in the Slark. You've got some nice damage, super nice damage. Like, if you look at your team, there's so much damage in your team. There's a lot of damage coming out from this guy, a lot of damage coming out from this guy, and you've got a lot of damage. So you don't need to build for a damaging hero. What you need to build for is a frontliner. So looking at your lineup, your team's lineup, you are definitely building the right way. All you need is a uh, um, Hurricane Pike and maybe a BKB. Actually, not maybe, definitely a BKB, and you're good to go. Just frontline for your team, but you're not really frontlining for your team. So your allies, your OD, your what's his name, Slark, can't really are having a really hard time getting the damage out because you're not frontlining for them.
Uh,
Like right here, you should have used the ult.
I
Sorry.
I
There we go. Awesome.
There
Perfect.
you go.
Yeah, that's perfect. And that LC
Um,
dies. The reason why LC didn't get any damage out is because you ulted. Once you ult, LC's damage is what?
what I was saying is that Slark has no damage to do. He's not doing any damage. He has only a Midas at 22 minutes. So
Yeah, because he went offlane, right? OD pushed him in offlane.
yeah,
But the other thing is, like, how can he do damage? He can do damage if he right clicks, but he's not getting a chance to right click. So you retreated here. Slark. If Slark had gone, sorry.
sometimes in team fights, I'm gonna be like over afraid because I'm trying to be careful. So I'm kind of trying boundaries in that area.
You're trying to what?
That's why I
Sorry.
retreat. Okay, right there, I retreated because I'm kind of okay. Sometimes I can be more afraid than.
Oh shit! I cancelled. I closed the window. I forgot we're on this
Yeah,
guy.
I saw it. So yeah, I was
Yeah.
afraid right there because I'm just
Yeah.
trying boundaries in team fighting
Okay.
because I feel like my position is bad, so I don't want to get punished for it. So
Okay.
that's why I go back and forth. This guy died, so I went back.
Hmm.
Then I see they move, so I go forward, right?
Yeah. Now you need to go back again. No, that's fine. That's fine. The slug messed up there. But see, you're so fast right now. You need to be here with the OD. You need to get the OD out of there. You need to help the OD out of there. But if you just run, OD's just gonna die. There are three heroes there with OD.
I've been punished so hard so many times for trying to save our lives that
Hmm. Yeah, but
I'm
the
kind of
the
disencouraged in that.
the thing is that you in this particular game, that is your job. If the roles were reversed, if you were the damage dealer and let's say this was an axe instead of an OD, yeah, you have to run. You don't stand there to save axe. So you have to understand when is the time to save your allies and when is the time to screw your allies. um, so right now you are not the main carry, or you shouldn't be looking at yourself as the main carry. You and Axe have a very similar role in this. Where are you?
Oh, okay. I'm going there.
I should have had a TP, man. I think if I remember a little bit, you with the
Like, keep-
Al- sorry.
I think it was on cooldown because of the beginning.
Okay. I don't know what the hell your team is doing, to be honest.
Farming. Can you see?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so don't need to go on Timber, to be very honest. Like, just go on Invoker, just chase Invoker a little bit.
Yeah, Booker went through a fast.
See, you go for Timber if you have
Wait,
Silver
wait
Red.
for it.
You're
Nice play,
gonna
but it's not gonna be good enough.
ulti. Ah, nice.
There, I
Double
love that
raise.
play, but
Nice. Yeah. Okay. I think that was the right play. What you did, running away. Um, don't know how good
I'm
you.
trying to run away from trees right now.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. I'm gonna die.
Double raise. Turn around. Double raise. He's too. Yeah. He's too much HP. He's got too much HP. Wasting time with it. Yeah. Maybe, just maybe, if you, there's no point looking at this, honestly. Maybe if you went towards your own tower, maybe your allies could have come and saved you, but um, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to look at that team fight. So yeah, if you all you had to do in this game was rush a Shadow Blade. When I say sorry, not Shadow Blade, Silver Edge, and when I say rush, I don't mean Brown Boots Shadow Blade, Silver Edge. I mean treads,
Where is the
Aquila, yeah, treads, Aquila, bottle, maybe another Wraithband, TP boots, and um, raindrops. And then when you finish your Shadow Blade, maybe you sell your raindrops or maybe you sell your Wraithband, depending on what is being more useful for you. And then you upgrade that to Silver Edge. Nice one. Nice hook. And you've lost your mana and you're gonna die probably. Okay.
my body OG got me from nothing.
He astrals you after everything is already done.
I have no. But hey, he's better than everyone. So who cares?
Like, does Slark have Silver Edge? See this game? There you go. Ah, so painful. So painful to watch, man. All you guys need. I don't even care. At this point, if I was OD, I would have made a Silver Edge. I'd have been like, screw this. Or even if I was Pudge, I've actually made Silver Edge on Axe in such situations. I don't play Pudge, but I'm sure if I was Pudge, I would have done the same. Because if my teammates are not building the essential, it's like core item in this game. That's the winning. That is the item that will win you the game. That's your win scenario, and you don't have it. How can you possibly win? Oh god, Axe is trying to make plays. That's not gonna work out. Oh, it is gonna work out. Nice. So who's doing really, really well? Somebody in your team is doing really well. Okay, you are doing really well. And then this guy is just died. Like when Slark goes offlane, what are you gonna expect from him? As a fucking Slark versus Viper. Yeah. Okay. So this gives me a good understanding of what we need to do. And we can now spend the rest of the time looking at heroes at your hero pool.